Live yet again on the cricket.com platform to review what's been a bizarre one-day international in terms of reviewing it, because India are losing by 21 runs, and of course, in doing so, losing a series at home since 2019. I have, of course, Somesh with me, Gurkirat and Nix, who are all pretty disappointed. Somesh just won $100 off me, even though we don't encourage betting on this platform. So,
Don't
where I mean, we do essentially, but where do you kind of blame it on? I mean, where does the buck stop you? Because I mean, I'm livid as this.
I'm not livid. I mean, I was expecting it. Too many team dismissals. So
But it was a theme throughout this one international, right? We saw it with Australia's innings, Warner, Labuschagne hitting, finding long on long. I think Stoinis did it. Then we saw with Virat, KL as well. Was it the pitch, or was it just the batsman getting sucked in,
I
playing
don't
more
think we'll
shots?
blame the pitch here, especially the kind of shot that Virat played or
Yeah.
even Hardik played later on. I mean, it comes down to the batters.
Yeah.
Virat has literally held these chases down and based his entire ODI career through nailing these chases, and this was again up his alley.
Yeah.
But wasn't to be. Fine. I mean, as a fan, as someone who wants to do well in major tournaments, this is a good. At least lose these here than losing it someplace else.
Oh, absolutely.
But the only thing that I'm very disappointed about is we have not seen even one close game in this entire series.
Yeah.
Neither the test, the ODI. We're just so expecting it when Hardik and Jadeja were playing that एक close game to मिलेगा पूरी series
Yeah.
में, but wasn't to be.
Was it to be 21 runs? Of course, you guys can check out the stats and analysis and all of it in cricket.com. Let me come to Gurkirat in just a bit, who said that India were par. But I want to ask Nix, because he mentioned the pre-match analysis where he said, who's the better captain in terms of reading this pitch, right? And this question was kind of probed to me by Anirudh. Now, after we've seen what? 98.1 overs, is it safe to say that Steve Smith has read this pitch better, Nix?
Not just the pitch, but he's also read the batters better. There are few dismissals that just stand out. Hardik was manufactured by that straight field, the ball going straight to head. He knew he was looking for a boundary, Hardik. So he kept the fielder very straight, did not allow him any room. So he had to go wide and mid wicket. And it's not the first instance that we've seen Smith being so much actively involved in terms of getting the angles right. And see, it was about two partnerships. India got many partnerships up top, but they never went on and got ahead of the game.
Yeah.
The moment you felt that they will now start to get ahead, they lost a wicket. You take KL Rao's dismissal, you take Virat's dismissal, and also some of the shot making was very ordinary. There is there is a calculated risk and there is a needless shot. A lot of the dismissals in this game from India were a lot of needless shots. Now you can say it doesn't work, it goes to the fielder, but that's how the margins of the game work. Rohit, you take it. Rahul, you take it. Virat, you take it. And Hardik Pandya. Now these are great. These are guys who've done this all their lives. And again, Jadeja takes on the negative matchup. He's hardly going to get better against Spain. Why would you want to take him on? Play out that 1 over, take the pace on from the other end. There was no spin after that over. So it's just the lack of maybe awareness or just wanting to do just one thing, just stems from the management only. So again, another jersey sponsor to plug that keep learning.
Absolutely. We'll, of course, come to India and we'll pick the bones about how they can go forward, especially in this World Cup year. But just want to touch about Steve Smith right now. I know it's about, I think, 2:45 somewhere in Australia, but surely they're penning a contract down for him to be the all-former captain. I think Somi suggested this. Well, do you agree with that thought? Steve Smith, the captain, I mean, honestly, he's just instilled a different confidence in this team.
See, I'm not someone who will vouch for captaincy changes just on the basis of results. I'm not saying that Steve Smith hasn't done well, but if Pat Cummins hasn't done something extremely wrong, then I don't see the point of changing captains unless you really believe that one captain is more lucky than the other. So yeah, that's my reading of
But maybe,
the.
what about the point of who between Smith and Cummins walks into the 11? The
I
first
don't think
11,
Aus-
across conditions.
I don't think Australia dropping Cummings when he's available, regardless of where they play ODIs. So there's that. And Cummings has also improved with the bat, so he will always have value, even if his bowling is going for runs on a flat pitch. So yeah, I just think sometimes this debate of turning over the captaincy after one good series. I'm never into those debates. I don't. I really don't think they serve a purpose. To be very honest.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's one way to look at it that way, but like you mentioned, so I mean, he's kind of made this store seem like an even Stevens store more than what it was initially when Cummins was around.
Yeah, I mean, even then, Australia were close in Delhi.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Tactically, I'm just saying Smith has a little bit more in his armory than Cummins.
see, the point is he already has that captaincy experience.
Exactly.
Cummins is still, those early days as captain.
Yeah.
Especially coming to India. This is, if you think about it, this is Smith's second innings as a captain.
True, but it goes back to the question that you asked Gurkirat, right? And something that Anirudh was mentioning in his 11 as well, where Cummins doesn't feature in this ODI World Cup plans.
Yeah, I mean, see, the point is, I think the point that Gurkirat makes is they won't drop him. But I mean, if we actually think about it in an objective manner, I mean, that spot can still be debatable across conditions. Like even today, and maybe it's hindsight, maybe it's not, but Australia would have been better off with Ellis in the 11 instead of Stark.
Yeah.
Because Stark is more of a good pace bowler, whereas on this wicket, like we mentioned during the mid inning as well, someone with the ability to change the pace or take the pace off the ball would have been better suited, like Ellis.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's very ballsy of them to drop Stark if they had
Of course,
to.
I mean, you can't do it.
And the only way we've seen that in like recent weeks in terms of cricket is, of course, with the Grace Harris being dropped and Shabnam Misbah coming in. But on that, let's keep taking the comments coming through. Of course, Chichan saying, I've told you guys I don't feel comfortable with India's chances to win the ODI World Cup with Rohit. Many wrong decisions today, including demoting Sky. Knockouts are going to be difficult for us. About that.
I mean, both Gurkirat and I can just go on and on about it.
Please
like,
do. Please
there'll be half the
No,
population.
but
This is a good decision.
see,
And then if it doesn't work, it backfires. It's not like that. I mean,
But Akshay was promoted.
that was a very good decision. You can't blame the decision making here at all.
So you blame Virat for running around. I mean,
Why do you have to blame anyone? I mean, it's just
true. But jokes apart, though, how do you think India shuffled their batting today? Because they were 146 for 2. And
yeah, maybe I let Gurkirat take this.
Sure.
I was very comfortable with what they did.
okay,
see,
Gurkirat?
I personally think that doing any kind of analysis in when you've had a player register 3 first ball ducks is very difficult. I mean, to say that demoting him was a wrong move just on the basis, or to say that there are people saying that okay, this is what happens when you mix formats. I mean, yes, formats are different and there's a different pace and setting to each format. But if a batter is getting out on the first ball without even getting his eye in, you really can't make that argument. I'm not saying that Surya Kumar Yadav has a great record in ODIs. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that when a batter has been out 3 consecutive times on the first ball, there's not much to analyze. And I think the move to hold him back was a right one. And I hope that they do that even when they have someone like a Sanju Samson, because in conditions where the ball is moving, I truly believe that someone like a KL Rahul or Ravindra Jadeja are the better bets to play the moving ball. It is something which we discussed in the last game. I don't think there was a mistake in terms of a batting order. And if I were to talk about Sky's dismissal today, I just think that he went back to a ball to which he should have been forward to. It was very similar to the kind of dismissal that Virat Kohli had versus Santner in that first ODI in Hyderabad, where Shubman Gill scored that double century. And that can happen to a lot of right-handers against a left-arm spinner when they don't read the trajectory well. And that's what
Just a
happened.
little bit more about Sky then, because now that we're talking about him, I think while we were watching the game here in the office, someone was like, why pick someone like Sky, dude? Like, he's one of our best T20 batters. We can actually use this chance. I know Iyer is out of it, so that doesn't really mean shoehorn someone like Sky because he's not going to play this World Cup, right?
So here is what I think.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about it tactically, India really miss a left-hander in the middle order.
True.
Even if you go back to India's 2011 side, or I mean some of the more settled side, all of them at least have one left-hander in the middle order. Now, my concern with Sky failing right now is after this, India is slated to play 6 ODIs, 3 against West Indies away, 3 at home against Australia, and a few of them in the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
Now, with Iyer back or Samson back, you don't know if Sky is going to get adequate chances.
Correct.
And whether he would make it to the World Cup squad. And by the time there is World Cup, he'll be 33. So definitely, if you think about the long-term deal as well, Sky is definitely not playing the next World Cup. So this is where my discomfort comes in. I mean, at least if you're planning, your plan should be from World Cup to World Cup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be interesting to see how they approach it from here, because if
I
Samson
think
would have been, ideally, he would have been the incumbent when Iyer is not available.
I think what has happened is that with the injury to Pant first and
Yeah,
then to Shreyas, they essentially feel that they need a batter who can just destroy spin from the word go. And probably in that respect, they rate someone like a Surya Kumar Yadav better than Sanju Samson, right? And I think because they think that there is no one who can just take on spin bowling from the word go, they've wanted to persist with him. It is the same discussion. We are having the same discussion that we had in the mid innings show, just with a different player. Where we were talking about the case of Manas Labuschagne. Because they see there is enough skill, they want to back Surya Kumar Yadav. But I do think that they made a mistake in sort of promoting him to number 4 in the first two games. Today, I don't think that they got the position wrong. It's just
Yeah.
that, and regardless of how anyone would feel about picking Surya Kumar Yadav or Sanju Samson or picking any XYZ player, I don't think anyone could have predicted this, that Surya Kumar Yadav will register 3 first ball ducks.
yeah.
This is something which I don't think even Chris Martin would have done. And Chris Martin is amongst the worst batters that I've seen. So this is something that no one can plan for, and no one can, even our great astrologer Crazy Nicks can't predict that someone will have three
The
first
only
ball
good thing
ducks.
is everyone goes straight to the IPL from here.
Yeah.
14 T20s, different team, different atmosphere, different expectations. So there is an opportunity for him to take all this baggage off his shoulder and just play the format that has succeeded. My only concern as an Indian cricket fan is that Sky is the only T20 player of pedigree that India have proven,
True.
at least from a proven lens. And I just wish that nothing affects his T20, because
Fingers
that would
crossed.
be a disaster.
Fingers crossed. Now remember, no other batter in the history of the game has got 3 first ball ducks. We just kind of checked it out in our stats page right now, so you guys can catch all our stats in terms of that. And I want to take some comments, and I'll throw them to Nick because he's been quiet for a while. I think a new person in the comments, Vignesh Kishwant, going on to see what is the takeaway for Team India from this series. And by the way, we're 10 or 9 individuals away from 19K subscribers. So if you're watching this for the first time, do subscribe. Nick's biggest takeaway for Team India. What is the biggest headache and the biggest positive?
Headache is and takeaway is also that you've again not learned anything, which is what happened in the previous series as well. Very little for you to learn, very little new that you came to know. The same players have performed when the India won, and the usage continues to be a bit of a trouble. So, be it today, I mean, see, there are ways that you can function that I felt Surya was not used well. You wanted to hold him back is fine. You should have probably sent him before Hardik. You kept him too much for somebody who likes to play from the ball one. Maybe an assurance of Hardik would have been better, even for him to come off and come good. I think
Yeah.
that partnership might have been, again, nobody's predicting whether he got 1, 2, or 100. But I don't think India have put people in positions where they can do better. So they chose the wrong position for him in the first 2 games, and they pushed him too far back. Now, if you want to play somebody so far back, why even play? You could rather use somebody else and learn something about it. As Som said, you give these 3 games to Rajat Patidar. You know something about Patidar that you can use for the World Cup.
Yep.
Now, whatever you've learned of Sky, you can't do anything about it. As we discussed, Rahul was promoted at 4, which was a good thing. Aksar was promoted ahead, good thing. But again, it's those decisions that are taken. Even if you go back to the bowling, they were 203 for 7 or something. They
Yeah.
got to 269. How? Sean Abbott, Adam Zampa, everybody scored double digits. You cannot allow that. Not on this deck. So it wasn't a road we knew that the moment we saw Mitchell Marsh get out. So
Correct.
I think India have done far too many same mistakes, and they just don't seem to be learning about from it in terms of enough to respond to those. The usage of Akshar Patel, he hasn't had a great tournament. I mean, great Australia series with the ball. With the
Yeah.
bat, the only time he got out was the run out. So it's I don't think you can take away anything positive apart from good common sense in the second game, but that's all.
That's all. Honestly, I mean, I'm trying to peer through the stats right now and figure who the man of the series is. I think it'll definitely be someone from Australia, maybe Stark, maybe someone else, because nothing really flatters
It has
India.
to be Stark.
It's either Stark or Mitchell Marsh, one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mitchell Marsh, more likely Mitchell Marsh.
I mean, does this
I
really
mean,
reflect the ODI series that we just saw?
I mean, three
Absolutely.
match series anyway is not going to
Yeah.
give you like a very. I don't know. I mean, won't register. जैसा
But
five
do
match
these
होता है
kind
कि
of series,
300.
but do these kind of series make you think why are we even playing the 50-over format anymore?
No,
Did you give me
Let's not go there. Because
no,
you
no.
guys,
I mean, no. I don't think playing the format is a problem or playing the series is a problem. And in fact, like what Sumesh said in the last game, that it's good that these kind of performances are happening in bilateral. Also, I don't know if people will find it funny or what, but I find it extremely funny that there's a huge overreaction and outcry after losing a bilateral series.
yeah.
That is when, especially coming from the same people who say when India crash out of a ICC tournament, that we don't care about bilaterals. If you don't care about bilaterals, then be okay with the things that the learnings or the experiments that happen in bilaterals. From what I think, what is going to be India's inference from this series is, I think India will continue to play a bowling all rounder at number 8 in the absence of Pant and Shreyas, because I don't think they've taken. I don't think they rely on maybe Surya Kumar Yadav or Sanju Samson, whosoever is there, as much. So I think they will try and have batting till 8, especially till the time Shreyas and Pant both are out, and that would mean maybe if you'll probably have Akshar Patel in some games, maybe Shardul Thakur in some games, and maybe Washington Sundar in some games. Also, the other thing is that, I mean, now this is something that you can't put on this management, but it's been like 14 years roughly. But Ravindra Jadeja can't really be your finisher. Uh, it's not that he lacks skills, but I just think that his game awareness is really not improved. Like how Nikhil mentioned, there was no chance he was taking down Adam Zampa in this over. And after that over, there were 4 overs of pace, out of which 2 overs were of Stoinis. Now Jadeja is good enough to take on Stoinis and probably even get 25 runs of those 2 overs, which leaves him with 15 to get in the next 2 overs, provided you bring the equation down to 40 of last 4, because it was 45 of 5 overs. So it's not about losing, it's just about not playing smart, intelligent cricket. And in phases, if India have not done it, you look at India's bowling today. uh, India had only bowled 4 overs of Shami in the first 35 overs, and Shami is not someone who you want to bowl a lot in the last 15 overs. Shami only bowled 6, and because you didn't have enough confidence in Shami and you wanted to give some confidence to Akshar, you bowled Akshar, he was smashed for runs. Even Siraj didn't complete his quota of overs. So really, I don't know. It's like this team will execute one part of the game tactically well, either with the ball or with the bat, and in the other facet, they'll completely undo all the good work done. Today, they were tactically right with their batting order, but they made enough mistakes with their bowling plans. If
yeah.
you look at it, I mean, you really can't have Mohammad Shami bowling only 4 overs till the 35th over, because everyone knows by now that Mohammad Shami struggles at the death. It's another thing that Australia were 5-6 down because they tried to attack spin. If probably Australia were smarter and just looked to rotate against Kuldeep, they could have really taken a lot of toll against Shami and maybe Akshar in the last 10-15 overs.
Hmm. I mean, something to really consider. And there are lots of comments coming through. I'll just read them before we wrap up here. And all the 35 people watching, do subscribe and give us a like on this video. I think Aries Stark saying Shunya Kumar Yadav and highlighting the 0 over there. Kaushik saying, what about strike rotation against away going spin? What about Jadeja there at the end? Strike rate of around 50 the death. Are you kidding me? Pranav Anand saying, do you think there's a conscious effort by Oz to bat quicker in the first 10 overs? In mind, or they did that to cover for the due as well. And there was another one from Vikram Mohanty saying it's not just the bilateral series which was lost, guys. It's just that we're poor in terms of batting. It's repeated failures, be it bilaterals or multi-nation tournaments. Just on that note, I know we're not really tearing our hair out, even though some people are. how does it go forward in the next 6 months? I mean, everyone's hoping that India win the tournament. They haven't won an ICC title. It series like this, which makes you think, dude, do they even have it in them anymore? Are they turning out to be a Proteas in blue?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing that India. I mean, it's very natural for India to start as favorites,
Yeah.
but it's a good thing that they are not the clear favorites,
Correct.
because at this moment they are not. Because there are too many chinks. I don't know how many of you are Harry Potter fans or those who are watching, but I think Lord Voldemort really wants to play for India and ODI at number 4, and that's why that spot is cursed.
It's good.
Okay, so the number 4 is the defense against the dark arts teacher.
Yeah. So
Yeah, honestly, it's like that. Nick, sorry, final word with you, and then we'll wrap proceedings, and then Gurkiat needs to say something else as well.
Yeah, I'm just saying Surya next place Bangalore, April 2. So watch out for a century.
Fourth duck incoming for sure. I mean, now the tribalism starts, right? The Indian colors are off. We're all going to go, of course, into proper sort of supporting our beloved teams. Gurkiat, final word with you. It's been, of course, a decent ODI series from an Australian perspective, because look, they'll look at this and be like, we're top of the ODI ranking charts right now, even though that doesn't reflect much, but they'll still be very chuffed with their performance, right?
Yeah, they should be very happy with how they bowled specifically, and I think they'll be very happy with how Agar bowled today.
Yeah.
Because Agar, everyone knows what Zampa is capable of. Agar really bowled well today, and they must be thinking that, on pitches like these, if Maxwell can also hit form, or if you can get third spin bowling option from somewhere, nothing like it. So yeah, they'd be very happy with how they bowled, and of course they'd hope that Mitchell Marsh stays fit till the time the World Cup's there, because he's really had a history with injuries. It's quite unfortunate, because he's definitely quite capable. And yeah, I mean, apart from that, if you see, none of their batters have. Travis Head is obviously going through a good run, but apart from that, see, 3 match series can be really short in terms of, giving everyone a chance or trying to get something out of everyone. So that there's that. But yes, they'd be very happy, like I said, with the way Agar bowled and how Stark bowled in the first 2 games.
Guys, look, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. It's a late Ugadi night here. There are lots of funny comments coming through, but I can't even read a few of them. Okay, I'll read this one just for comedy's sake. Dravid Bagar World Cup Bachao campaign has started in the comments. But look, we're just taking the piss in terms of cricket.com. Thanks so much for watching this particular series. Of course, 2 watch-alongs left later this week. The WPL Eliminator and the final, of course, Friday and Sunday, respectively. There'll be Knicks, there'll be Gurkirat, Bish and Mohit. Maybe even Som will make a little pit stop on the weekend.
And tomorrow there's my show as well.
Oh, and there's your show as well. Keenly promoting it tomorrow. You're doing it, right?
Yeah, because Friday we'll have the watch along. We have the qualifier of the Women's
super.
T20 League.
So
there's
Deep
that.
Point episode 18 or 19, let us know. I think it's probably 18. I might be wrong. But thanks for watching this, and subscribe and like this channel. And we'll leave it there. Thanks again, and subscribe. Really subscribe, because we want to get to 19K. And check out our brand new video on Stark tomorrow morning as well.